Hello, my fellow Americans. Some of you not so much. I truly appreciate all of you who have stood before me, who stand by me, not to stand against me. All these years since COVID, which was a real disease, you understand? Some of you say that my actions were mandatory, like at the Nuremberg trials. I never said that everyone had to take the vaccines. It was the government who did that, and not even only the state governments and the federal governments, but local governments too. I did not have my hand in that. My hands are wiped clean. Just because safety tests normally take 10 to 15 years, and this one took only one, we had to expedite it for everyone's benefit. You all know that. The Nuremberg trials, voluntary consent was absolute. The very first principle of the Nuremberg Code, it states that the voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. Just because we told you that you would lose your jobs in hospitals or nursing homes, I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep myself protected from any incoming viruses. You know, the viruses are very tiny. Yes, so we find out that those masks couldn't stop a viral particle. Well, what would we know? We had rushed into this. We didn't realize that just putting a piece of cloth or having young athletes play football games where they actually collapsed and some of them died of myocardia because they couldn't get enough oxygen combined with the vaccine that they took in order to be able to play, because we couldn't allow other players to play, just like we couldn't allow churches to congregate. We would only allow rioters to congregate during the 2020 riots. That was one heck of a year, if you all remember. You young kids, you probably won't even read about these in the history books. But moving along with the Nuremberg trials, what else did it say? I'll be absolutely clear on this. Prohibition of duress. Subjects must be able to exercise free power of choice without the intervention of any element of force. Deceit. We never deceived you. You're humans. You have your brains. Use them. We ask you to talk to your doctors. Sadly, if any of your doctors spoke up against us, we just took away his license, or he couldn't get any reports done or get any aid for his publisher parish. But that's not my fault. The intervention of any element of force, deceit, duress, overreaching, or other ulterior form of constraints or coercion. Coercion. So we might have corroded the middle class a little bit. A few middle class small businesses got wiped off the planet, while we did have big capital organizations take all the transfer of money, probably the biggest transfer that ever happened. And of course, Pfizer and Moderna and whatever that other friendly competitor was, were given absolution because it was for the greater good of society. Because we were all afraid, well, we might have withheld information about the mRNA when we said that that was a dead virus and it would quickly go out of your bloodstream once it took effect at being a good immune suppressing vaccine against the COVID-19 virus. But it turned out that might have been the case. But how would we know that? Oh, well, some people say that that was suppressed, that we said that this was going to be a definite result from the experiments we did, and then the wording was changed to a moderate result. We reworded some things not to worry you, so you would take it in case it did work, which it didn't for everybody. Who knew about natural immunity? I mean, seriously, I was only involved in the AIDS project way back. I did a good job on that, and I don't know why people don't think I did such a good job this time. People are funny. No loyalty. What else did this document say? Context of intimidation. We're talking about the Nuremberg trials, decisions. The trials revealed that concentration camp victims were forced into deadly experiments. For example, high altitude freezing. We never did anything like that. Poison gas. I've never poison gassed a single human being. Just induced them to take COVID shots. Like kids who were 5 or 6 years old. We used to put masks on them. And it's the parents' fault if they didn't wash those masks and they got secondary infections. Well, they didn't get quite enough oxygen. Maybe they lost some brain cells. I mean, it was a generation. We locked them up. They're doing fine now. They have great social skills. They can read at the same levels as the rest of the general population. I think that we're comparing them to chimpanzees who can read at about a 7th grade level. Or is that an octopus? I'm not quite so sure. Maybe it's crows, corvids. But anyway, the kids can read. They're going to be good citizens. The colleges didn't rip you off with all those college loans that they gave you. That's not the reason why so many kids became socialists and communists, because they couldn't afford a home. And we gave them such a crappy, great education. And they got a super education during COVID because they could homeschool. Everybody talks about homeschooling now. I don't get it. We homeschool, we don't homeschool. So we were forced to homeschool a little bit. And your parents couldn't even go outside, but you could exercise unless a cop stopped you for exercising too far from your home. But there were no mandates, no restrictions, and definitely no martial law ever declared that I am aware of. Our public buildings did shut down. Police stations, apparently a lot of them, they still can't get inside a lobby, even though it might say safe space on the outside. So if a woman who's in fear of getting raped, she can't even get inside to a safe zone in a police lobby. And when we used to be able to call our public officials, some of them, and they'd answer the phone and even remember who they serve, the public who pays their taxes. Like me, you pay my taxes and you pay my salary. I appreciate that. But anyway, they just stopped answering the phone from COVID. It's not their fault because they couldn't go to their buildings to congregate. They worked at home. That's reasonable. In their jammies. And when the cat's away, the mice will play sometimes. But not these public servants, because public servants is a noble thing. And nobody did anything less than their best. That's a fact. The code empowers subjects to end their participation at any time if they have reached a physical or mental state where continuation seems impossible. The Nuremberg Code serves as the foundation for modern international research ethics, specifically protecting against coercion, in medical experimentation. We experimented on nobody. It was all voluntary just because your teacher couldn't come teach your piano lessons, if your kid didn't have a COVID shot, and we gave booster shots. You didn't even get to pay for them. We paid for them, the government. Well, the government does actually get money from your taxes, or we just print more money up, like we did all the money we handed out to you. It just inflates the value a little bit when we do that. But long term, it didn't really destroy present buying power as it did today. The way your grocery prices are going up, we can always blame that on someone else. It wasn't my fault. Stop blaming me, please. Mr. Fauci, your tickets to St. Bart's. You better get moving on that, or your plane will leave without you. 2 weeks in the sun. You deserve it. Yes, thank you very much. And I'm sure that the pilot has his COVID shots because he's a good American, unlike some of you who just are so adamant and biased against the whole concept. Some people say it's because you can't accept a new reality. It'll blow your mind. My mind's just fine. It's made up. I've done nothing wrong, so you guys can go screw yourselves. Tell them to go fuck off. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye. For those of you who are still alive, of course, or who don't have continuing issues from all those shots that have mostly helped most people. Stop reading all these nonsense about what's coming out now. Don't believe any of it. I'm out of here. Bye.